Hello everybody, I'm your host Rafa and welcome to the very first JRE in a Nutshell show. Thank you very much for taking your time and checking out my channel. It's been a couple of months since the organization and the idea came up and designing and learning how to do all this shit, and it's been quite a journey and fun. I'm a little bit early. I plan to release in a couple of weeks, so my microphone is not yet here, but it's just last week. Steven Pressfield's episode was so interesting and so useful for most of us, if not everybody. So I decided to release a couple of weeks earlier. I hope you don't judge me on that, and just enjoy. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take Steven Pressfield's episode with the Joe Rogan Experience from last week, and we're gonna talk about all the topics they spoke. I'm gonna give you my opinion on the show. I'm also gonna give you my short opinion on the other two episodes that played last week with Danny Brown and with Sean O'Malley. And if I did my job right, then I'll help you realize which parts of the episode you want to watch instead of just watching the highlights or not watching anything at all. Yeah, I hope you like it, and let's get right to it. So let's start with Danny Brown. It was a very interesting episode. He's very smart, very talented. He's very, very, very funny. They spoke about actually his other interests besides music. One of them is stand-up, so it's pretty interesting. He speaks way too fast though. Way too fast. It's almost understandable. And he says all the time, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And I was like, no, motherfucker, I have no idea what you're saying. What the fuck? It's like, have to return 15 seconds every fucking time. And the problem is also that the closed captions don't help, right? They fucking sometimes write something that has nothing to do. I remember one episode when with Jewel came up, I don't know, in the summer, and this one stayed in my memory because Joe Rogan said they ate the cat with cheese sauce, right? And fuck, that's now that I hear it, I realize that's a weird sentence to say. If you want to know the context, go check it out. It's on the first half an hour. It's pretty early. So he says they ate the cat with cheese sauce, and the closed caption said they ate the cat with Jesus. So it was like, if you're only fucking reading, there's no chance. So the closed captions don't help that much, but and they go fucking nuts when listening to Danny Brown. They would like fucking write all of these not letters, and not like to censor a bad word. So okay, it would be like this. He would go like, so it's really fucked up how hashtag fucking question mark wavy line. Closed captions go insane. He speaks so fast, but all in all, it's really interesting. I really recommend you to watch it and check it out. So Sean O'Malley, this is a very biased interview for me to give my opinion on, because I love Sean O'Malley. I had the opportunity to go to the UFC 248 in Vegas, and that's the first time I saw him live in prelims 2.5 years ago, and I was just insanely interested, and I was like, what the fuck, this guy's insane. And since then I've been following him. That's the only time that me and Joe have been in the same building, by the way. And yeah, it's if you like MMA, if you like the UFC, it's super cool episode. They go long, almost 4 hours, and they talk about, of course, 90% about fighting and MMA, but they also talk about other stuff. It's hilariously funny. They go through the controversy, of course, of Sean's last fight against Peter. So if you like MMA, I definitely recommend you to watch this episode, and especially more even if you like Sean O'Malley, or if you're interested in knowing what happened in the last fight and all that. Pretty interesting, very cool. His opinion about it, his next fight. They talk about whether he's going for the belt or not, and all of that stuff. It's all of that stuff. Very cool episode. Go check it out. And now for the main course, Steven Pressfield. If you are not interested in my opinion on this episode and what I have to say, no harm done. Just click on the skip button and it will take you straight to the topics section, where I go objectively, topic by topic, what they spoke about, and then you can either watch it yourself or make your own conclusions. So Steven Pressfield, man, mind blown. This episode literally changed my life. It pushed me to release this channel a couple weeks early, even unprepared. Fuck it, and they speak. He wrote this. He wrote many books, but one of the books he wrote is called The War of Art, and it's about the resistance that humans have against doing productive shit, in layman's terms. So basically, you're sitting in your couch and you know that you need to go to the gym, but you are not in the mood, lazy as fuck, whatever, and all that negative stuff that normally wins, and we just order a pizza instead of go training. But they go through all of that, why that exists, like, is it possible to beat it, how to do it, where it comes from, all of that shit. It's so crazy interested. This is obviously only interesting for people who are into self-development, which I am. So for me, it was 3 hours of super interesting, important information that I will probably apply for the rest of my life. I already bought The War of Art. I haven't read it yet, obviously. This was a week ago. I've been focused on this episode, but definitely looking forward to reading it, and definitely check it out if you're interested in personal development. Check this episode out completely, from 0 to 100, from 0 to 3 hours, and don't miss a beat. So, in my personal opinion, this episode ranks 4 nuts. Episode 1901, Steven Pressfield, who is described as the author of numerous works of fiction, non-fiction, and multiple screenplays, including The War of Art, Break Through the Blocks and Win Your Inner Creative Battles, and The Legend of Vance. His latest, Govt, a Memoir, releases December 6. So this guy wrote many books, and that's how they start. They begin this episode by talking about his book, and then they focus mostly on The War of Art. They go through that. They talk about stand-up comedy also, related to the topic of The War of Art. They speak about why, they ask the questions why this resistance exists, and then they go to answer the question. Of course, they talk about that. Later, they go to psychedelics, and they speak about the creator self, which moves on to discipline, productivity, and goals, your life goals basically, or several goals that you might have. Steven then goes on to speak about the Muse, a very interesting topic. Whoever you think the Muse means for him is for you to decide, but I found it very interesting that he has this actually, this is not supposed to be my opinion, but it's very important. He goes on to talk about how seeing the news is also resistance that is connected to your ego. So watching the news and reacting to the news. They speak about capitalism, community, mostly. They start going to this topic of community, like like your society, how do you relate in your community, and having a community, and how is that for human beings, how capitalism, how is that involved into the capitalism of today, let's say. They speak about how the people has lost interest in life, and they speak very specifically about that, having no specific interest, that you just go to the office or whatever and nothing interests you. You're not a musician, you're not interested in music, and this, you don't have a passion. That doesn't mean you don't have a gift. So that was really, really important. They speak about also about performing a service, about how important that is as well, as part of the whole combo of being a human, let's say. They speak about toxic behavior. They go to the opposite side almost right away, speak about what brings this toxic behavior, what does it mean, why people react like this. They move on to getting in your own way, why that happens, what does that mean, all of that really interesting. They deviate a little bit from the subject then after, and they talk about human history. No, they never really deviate 100% from that subject, but they do go a bit far away, if kind of connecting it. So when they talk about human history, and then connected to this, the question is literally answered, what is the soul? And that goes on to talk about reincarnation and other stuff. And they finish basically the last 40 minutes, it's about lifestyle. So the lifestyle that people have, the lifestyle that you should have if you want to achieve these goals and these other goals. So as I said, in my opinion, it's a very interesting episode, and you will definitely enjoy it, and will definitely change your life, I think. Because of how useful this episode is, and how many, basically all of us can take advantage of it, I definitely have ranked this episode the top rank of 5 nuts. It's amazing. Check it out, take notes, watch it twice. Definitely fucking worth it. So that is a wrap for the first JRE in a nutshell show. Thank you very much for watching the video, for following my channel. Please don't forget to subscribe, push the bell, and smash the like, and share, and retweet, and heart, and all of those things in any platform that the platform you like the most. Just share, like, subscribe, push that little bell, because we're gonna do this regularly. I hope you like the content. In the comment section, please let me know how I can improve, what you liked, what you didn't like. For the haters out there who are just gonna insult, you have all the right to do so, but I will be ignoring your comments. I will not be answering, and I will be ignoring them. I will just be reading about people who are criticizing me with the intention of making me improve, and not with the intention of judging. So if you have some critics, please, I'm all ears. I'm trying to improve everything that I do. So please, I have no idea what I'm doing. So any help would be greatly appreciated. And this little ball of fluff is Logan. You might see him walking around or laying next to me from time to time, depending on his mood. So I wanted to introduce him to you guys, and I hope everybody liked the episode, and I hope to see you again next week. Peace.